Hey everyone, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Knife Nuts podcast. We decided to do this like a couple hours ago.
Spur of the moment.
This is very impromptu. So if you thought we're bad usually with organization, get ready for something even completely worse.
Yeah.
And it's FAQ, so we're going totally off the cuff, reading questions at random.
Yeah, and we also wanted to supplement some of the SHOT Show stuff because there actually was a little more to talk about as soon as we uploaded the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be like the Cameron freestyle on Rap City. I got to keep the obscure hip-hop references going. I'll throw that one in there.
My eyes are rolling really hard.
Yeah, you were alive for when Cameron was popular. Don't say that.
I was alive for when Cameron was popular.
You were, you old motherfucker. So earlier today, we asked for people to give us questions, and you guys actually showered us with pretty decent questions. This is like the first time this has actually happened.
Don't get us wrong. You also showered us with some really horrible questions too,
and some incredibly savage burns. I just gotta. Can we start this by just giving a shout out to Birdshot people for just fucking destroying. Oh, Jason Browse. Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
Go ahead and read it.
Okay. It is on Levon, so let me bring this up. Judging by Jason Browse's hairline, not covered by the flat brim tat, how many months is he from a midlife crisis?
Frankie, you are
savage.
A hell of a woman.
Goddamn. I'm gonna have to put some bomb sound effects in under that one. Jeez.
Jeez.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I think our negative demeanor is rubbing off on our listeners.
I like it.
They're one-upping us.
It's true.
You mean pretty soon I'll be acceptable?
Yeah. You're gonna be the nice guy soon.
You're actually borderline as we speak, buddy.
That's the final form of this podcast. In 10 years, we all sound like Brian and talk like Brian and feel the way Brian does inside.
Well, it's funny because Sasha Hess, the guy who blows glass, he came down this year to help me at Blade, and he was from, I think, Oregon first, and now he's in North Carolina. And like when he goes home, he says he's like an angry bastard for a couple days until he, settled, until I wean out of his system.
That's funny because that's the most you've spoken the entire career of the podcast, right there.
That was another question I saw.
Yeah,
exactly.
Why does Brian not talk? One of the great questions.
I'm going to answer that. It's because he slips in and out of like consciousness due to his glaucoma prescription. Yeah, it's a prescription for the severe glaucoma.
He just nods off sometimes.
I did notice the other night, when I listened back to the podcast the other day, I said, wow, he missed like all these things. And then I realized, I probably had my speaker on mute while I was saying half that shit.
Oh my God, that's true. You do always go on mute.
Just nodding off, man.
Jeez.
What are you going to do?
All right, so shall we?
Also,
you get what you pay for.
It's in Brian's contract that he's allowed to keep working on knives while we're recording.
That's actually true.
Or hand rubbing S90 is how I put it, I think, on Instagram today.
That's actually true.
Actually, when we're in here, I normally take it easy because you guys would hear too many noises. I kind of just chill. I pace.
You pace.
I'm glad you're that committed to the podcast that you're pacing furiously trying to come up with
you
things
say,
to say.
It's like I'm on my feet all fucking day in this garage, and now you guys got me here at fucking night. So great.
Is there enough room for you to pace in that garage, or are you sort of sidestepping back and forth?
He clamps himself in the hospital. He writes a code to fucking pace and he gets in the only space in it.
Yes, perfect. Oh God! All right.
No milk, please.
So as we mentioned, this is a Q&A episode. We're going to go through it and get some questions answered. And maybe I'll go live. I don't know. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, go live.
All right.
This is going to be a disaster.
It'll be fun.
All right. Who wants to start out?
I guess I'll read one of my questions.
Yeah, read one of your questions.
All right. Let me just get on here. Let's see what a good one looks like. Let me start at the top. Knife Life Mike wants to know how I met my cat. I'll save that for later.
That's who Quincy is? I didn't even understand the question.
Yeah, Quincy is my cat.
All right.
Quincy came back up a number of times.
Quincy is actually becoming the mascot. I don't even know how it's possible.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, it was my cat, but that peed on your knife case.
That too. The two of them together.
And that's a hot topic.
Yes.
Or a hot take.
I didn't support any cat executions. I love Lucy, and she loves me.
And she's lucky for her, she's not a donkey.
That's true. All right. So Joe Schmo, did you guys watch the Greg Medford Blade HQ video?
I didn't because I usually, if I see a YouTube video and Greg Medford's in it, I don't click on it.
Okay. So you know how Greg Medford is pretty much the most politically incorrect human being on the face of the earth?
He's like a WWE heel character at this point.
Yeah, he makes Brian look like, I don't know. Give me a very left-wing politician. That's not Hillary Clinton.
The rent is too damn high.
Yes,
okay.
The rent is too damn high, guy. There we go. Of course, we picked a very well-known politician.
Anyway, so Joe Schmo asks, do you think Greg Medford had killed someone after seeing the Blade HQ interview? And he asked this, I presume, because it was the pairing of, it was such a yin and yang combo. Because, what's the gentleman's name
Zach.
from Blade HQ? Zach was interviewing Greg Medford, and Zach is very cordial, polite, very PC, a great representative for the knife community. And then you got Greg Medford, who is just a bulldozer. I don't really know how to even...
I'm sure there was a lot of awkward nodding.
Look at this blade. Doesn't it just make you want to stab someone?
Yes. So
something.
Yes. So there were a lot of awkward moments like that, but mainly it was he wasn't doing the knife community any services by basically calling out how his knives make you want to murder people.
Yeah, let's perpetuate those stereotypes. But hey, no, he's not doing that because he's got a comic book series that teaches kids about how knives can be used for, I don't know, what the fuck does... I don't read his fucking comics. The man's got a comic book series about his knives.
So why would you make a comic book where you're not killing people? It's like, oh, wow, I got to cut this rope, and then you got to illustrate that shit?
Because it's apparently supposed to make little kids get into knives, but somehow I think the little kids would like the part where you kill people with them better.
A little kid can't even lift one of his knives.
Yeah, seriously. Gonna break an infant's arm with a Praetorian tie.
But I have to say, some of the knives that he showed, I like them.
Yeah, like some of the designs are okay.
I like them. What's that one I like? Jake, oh shit. He does like the big one.
Like a married couple. You ask him what knife you like.
He knows what I'm talking about.
The Marauder?
Well, the Marauder went from 3/16 to 1/8.
It is the Marauder.
Yeah.
It is the Marauder.
That's like the best design.
It did like a thin Marauder.
Yeah, but like the completely flat scales with just
show.
the tiniest amount of chamfering is pretty lame.
I still don't think it looked bad.
I mean, it looks nice, but like, how much is that going to cost? $600?
I don't know. Kind of want.
Yeah, kind of want, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Also, he has like a lower priced line coming out. They're aluminum handled button lock flippers that are hand ground in the $350 range.
Still too much.
Yeah.
That's like the Brian Ty and Friends stuff.
It's progress.
It's like the Grateful Dead and Friends knives. I'm not going to buy those for $350.
That might be the worst name for a knife company ever, is Brian Ty and Friends. It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
That might be what keeps Brian Ty, solvent because of the Canadian...
Alive in our hearts.
Yeah, it will keep his estate solvent because of the Canadian knife law changes. Because they're based out of Pennsylvania somewhere, Erie, I guess. And so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so might have to rely on that because being a knife maker in Canada can't be too great right now.
I'm never getting my tiebreaker back.
Oh, is it at Brian's right now?
It's in Canada. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're definitely not getting that because how's the Ghost going to use it?
This way.
Yeah, but can't they ship it here? They could ship it here, but we just can't ship it to them.
Oh, he might be right.
Yeah, it is that.
Yeah.
So Brian Ty lives on.
Importation.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the movie Ghost, and Patrick Swayze couldn't touch people or touch objects, so I don't know how he's going to fix your knife.
I don't know, some sort of ghostly telekinesis.
Yeah, he's gonna have to possess Whoopi Goldberg's body so that she can fix your knife.
Or Brian Lai. All right.
R.I.P. Patrick Swayze.
We didn't answer his question at all, which is even great.
What was his question?
Do you think Greg Medford had killed someone after seeing the Blade HQ interview?
He was what, in the Marine Corps? I don't know what his service is. Let's just say no.
I don't know. Maybe.
Let's not make it hot for Greg Medford.
I'm sure I don't know. He looks like he has a sense of humor. He just doesn't have a filter.
He does not. I mean,
I'm warming up in favor of Greg Medford and not the other way.
I agree.
So
I'm not
I'll say he probably hasn't stabbed anyone since
high school.
Since he was in service. Yeah, since he was in the service, and it was part of his job.
Brian, you are lucky that we have the foresight to edit things you say, because that man just goes straight to YouTube with his videos.
Yeah. Yes.
He has had one too many scandals, I'd say.
All right. Dave, you got a good question for us?
I'm going to say it's not a good one. So this one's from Bran Cron. He's very upset at us about the Megalodon pocket clip, since we've talked about that knife so much. Shit goes in and out of my pocket, no problem, bro.
Yeah, I have no problem with that pocket clip whatsoever.
Nope.
Sorry, maybe you need new pants.
Yes,
dude.
get new pants. We'll buy you pants. We're not going to buy you pants.
Why? Stop. We cannot buy everybody everything.
We really
That
can't.
seems to be your solution. Stop.
Yeah. We'll send you old pants that we wore at one point. They'll be valuable in the future.
Yeah, we'll go to the, what do you call it? The Salvation Army and find a pair of pants.
And Luke Albert and Brian Cron, I think I answered that question in a story earlier where I threw my Megalodon into the diaper pail.
Yes, that was great.
Which was not staged. That was a dirty diaper pail, and I did have to go in and fish that knife out of.
That's the kind of dedication I want
pail
for the
of dirty
podcast.
diapers.
Good job.
Yeah, man, I had to wash it in the sink with soap like it was a dish and get water all up in my bearings and everything.
Oh no, now you're gonna have to disassemble
but I did it for you.
I will say that
I did it for you.
Brancrod did mention the Kaiser Kier, the TK Knives one. That has the worst fucking clip of all time. You were right about that. So thanks for the question, Brancrod.
Well, there's bad clips for pants, and then there's the bad clips for hands. Do you remember the clip gate with the Microtech DOC?
Oh yeah, no, this is a bad one. Like you got it onto your pocket,
airtime.
And it literally you couldn't get it. You had to cut your pocket off of your jeans to get it out.
Yeah, it's a pants shredder.
I mean, it wasn't even shredder. It would not let go. It was like the fucking alligator of pocket clips. Like just clamp down and you can never get it out of your pocket. It was awful.
The
Truly,
alligator of pocket clips.
it's superlatively awful.
That was like a grade school analogy.
I know. I'm not on with the metaphors today. I didn't work that much. I didn't actually work that much. But yeah, the DOC clip. Yeah, that's a throwback because nobody cares about that knife anymore.
What's funny is I had a DOC. Who the hell is this? Oh, it's someone's coming to my door. Hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, and Levon dies on the podcast. But yeah,
And no, it's actually my buddy. Hold on.
well, I'm glad he. So we're gonna have a guest, apparently unscheduled guest, and it's always on Levon's side. First it was his mom, and now it's this person who's gonna murder him. So transition.
Yes.
Back to the podcast.
Sorry about that.
We should, everyone would come back in laughing.
that
3, 2.
was so funny.
You guys are dicks. Anyway.
All right.
All right.
I think Jake, it's your turn.
There will be no question who is the most mental.
You were waiting the whole time to do that.
You almost made me spit my drink out all over the place.
I didn't have as many usable questions. The most direct question was from Fresh6, and it says, "Whose turd did you cut in half to get that last Strider pick?" It's referring to a hashtag #UseYourShit Strider pick where it's covered in brown turd-like substance, but that was actually shingles because I did hashtag use my shit at one point.
He's talking shingles, like roof shingles, not like
roofing,
not like
cutting roofing shingles.
Yeah. He's cutting blisters off the
I was cutting the shingles off of Levon's neck or something.
Could you guys please not flay each other?
That's absolutely
Also, you couldn't
disgusting.
We have so many times.
You couldn't have picked a worse knife to do it because no way that Strider cut well.
He's going to argue the opposite.
I don't remember. I think I didn't put an edge on that one, so yeah, maybe it didn't cut well. I don't know.
Which one was it?
Honestly, it was the my second NSN.
Oh yeah.
Not with the HRD.
Were those are real? I always assume those were fake.
The NSNs?
Yeah, because they were so much cheaper. The NSN SMFs?
Yeah, they're real.
Yeah, I tried to find fakes to see what I should be looking out for when acquiring and selling them, but I never saw one, so I don't know. The rest of the question, custom makers that are no-goes for you guys, that's scandalous. Do we want to get into something like that? Watches and lights. I don't have a no-go light manufacturer really, because I don't know, I'm too easy on my lights.
Nightcore?
Is Nightcore bad?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't know if they're bad or good. I just don't care. They're just
too expensive.
Pound for pound and feature for feature, they're so much more expensive. But then again, if we go over to the gun side of things, like I don't need a Surefire because I don't need to make sure that recoil isn't damaging the innards of my flashlight that I actually don't have mounted to a rifle. So yeah, I don't know.
Custom makers or manufacturers for knives? Like, are we talking?
I think he meant custom makers. So
he said both. Yeah, makers that are no go.
The thing is with custom makers,
that are no go.
You literally have to actively seek out the ones you want to spend the money for. So there's a lot of custom makers that I'm not going to actually buy from, not because I dislike what they're doing or whatever. It's not for me.
Yeah,
you know what
I would say the ones to avoid are the ones who have stolen people's money, and it's pretty easy to find that out. Just, troll the forums, go to the feedback sections on the USN and Blade forums.
If you see a knife that you like by a maker, just do your research. That's really all there is to it. I don't really have any horrible hate story about any custom maker.
Yeah, I have one bad story, but it's just,
I know your story.
Yeah, I'd just rather not even relay it, but yeah, I don't know. Just do your research. That's the simplest thing. Especially if you're buying it, on the secondary market and you're not the original owner. Definitely figure out what you're getting into first. It's the best advice I can give.
It made me want to give away the maker in some, cryptic way, like Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, that's enough.
Anyway,
I don't have any.
I don't have anyone.
Yeah, I don't have any no-go lights. I did have one of those Maritac AA's. Just anytime you screwed the threads together, it automatically turned on. It would not stop. So I guess that's the worst experience I've had with a flashlight. And then watches, I don't know enough.
We'd have to open that up to Okluma and Barrel and those higher end custom flashlight makers too,
of which we own none.
Yeah, exactly, which is why we can't do that. So
I have a really hard time knowing what I know about flashlights and value and I have a really hard time ponying up a lot of money for a custom flashlight,
especially because it's going to be dated pretty quickly, since flashlight technology seems to move really fast since it's an electronic.
Yeah, much quicker than knife technology.
Yeah, since I work in technology too, I see how fast this shit updates, outdates. I don't know. I like getting my flashlights cheap.
Yeah.
It's like chasing the Blade Steel game, but instead of once every 3 or 4 years, it happens 4 times a year.
Well, I don't know. This Zebra light is, I guess, technically an expensive production light, and I would say it feels higher quality than some of the other production lights I've had. But so the green tint is not as bad as I thought. I definitely exaggerated on the last podcast. It's there, but
you exaggerated.
Yeah.
No.
It turns out I had not used it on a high enough setting that often. But I don't know. I think it was worth it for $80, even though there are such good cheap flashlights. So maybe expensive flashlights in general just aren't worth it for the majority of people.
I disagree.
But flashlight people would say the same of knives.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess true. But knives don't get outdated. The thing is, a knife is an enduring tool, whereas a flashlight is, again, what is it? It's microchip based on some level, and that shit is going to be outdated and redundant. That's like buying a really nice computer. In a few years, it's still going to be an old computer. It's still going to be dated. Or, phone.
So what you're saying is if you buy a flashlight now, in 5 years, it's not going to work as a flashlight for you?
It will. It'll just be there'll be cooler, better flashlights.
It won't work if you maintain a high level of enthusiasm for the sport.
Especially like when the flashlight you buy is probably like 35, 40, or say $80. In 4 years, if there's another flashlight that's 100 times better,
you got your money worth.
You're probably just going to spend the $80 and get that flashlight.
Yeah, you already got your money's worth. Like, and most of these don't have lifetime warranties. Most flashlights, I don't think. Jake, fill me in there, but I haven't seen lifetime warranties.
A lot of them have really good warranties.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I just solder new emitters and driver boards into my lights that I don't like anyway. So that point could be moot if you're good with a soldering iron and you don't like yourself or something.
What's your fix to break ratio on that, Jake?
Let's kind of like the Wicked Edge. Like you break like 3, and then after that you're good.
Right.
But I was going to say, and on the watch end. Those guys don't have to worry about any of this because they died in a fire in their Lamborghini already.
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about being outdated.
That's true. I don't know.
They crashed while they were taking a picture of their dashboard and I don't know.
It's over. The joke is done.
Well, you're supposed to say a fancy watchmaker.
Richard Mille.
There we go.
Okay, now we can move on.
Okay. I mean, as far as watches go, like I think it's at least for fancy watches, it's a much more calculated purchase. You kind of know what you're going to buy because you want it so badly, and you want it for a long time usually.
Yeah, and
there are many impulse buys in the high-end watch category, at least in my, for my income.
Yeah, unless you're like a Russian oil tycoon, like yes, if you're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on a watch. Don't do it as an impulse. That seems like really common sense advice. Mm-hmm. So my next question, I'll skip the first part because it is also about avoiding companies. But what are some knife sale and purchase regrets? I will say that there are some customs I bought that have lost their value dramatically. So I got a Marfione Tachyon 3 Balisong, and I think that's the biggest hit I've ever taken on a knife. That was bad. I think I traded into it and sold stuff, so like I didn't really pay the full amount, but I think the retail for it was like $1,100. I sold it for $450. That one hurt. That one hurt really bad. But the only other purchase I regret was a Andre de Villiers Butcher, because that was a fucking adventure and a half with that thing. Yeah. So those are my big regrets.
Getting it or
no, it was getting it fixed. was fun.
Okay.
I got it back from South Africa with no edge on it, and then Andre de Villiers started making all these wild accusations about me on my YouTube channel. I was like, that wasn't me. Like he was literally thinking of a different customer that he was mad at, like with a completely different problem, and it was very bizarre. Needless to say, I sold the edgeless. Like I'm telling you, like it had the primary grind, and then it was just flat. So yeah, I ended up getting rid of that thing, and I was very happy to get rid of it. That was probably my biggest knife regret. Yeah, was buying. That's my biggest purchase regret, and then my biggest sale regret is the Tachyon 3.
Yeah, because did the same guy write the question on my Instagram too, or?
Oh yes, I should mention it. Question? It was Doughboy Warrior.
Is that who said it on mine? Because I think I have a similar question. Maybe we can answer both of them in the biggest regret.
What do you have? What's your biggest purchase regret?
My biggest purchase regret. It's tough for me to say because eventually any of the ones that I regretted purchasing made somebody else happy. Because like if I've sold it off, they like it. You know what I mean? Like I got my money out of it. I've never like really, eaten it on a. I don't really know how to say this.
Really?
I mean, I bought a Browse.
The Silent Soldier, right?
The Silent Soldier. I mean, that thing was trash.
Yeah, that was garbage.
But it was early in my knife collecting too.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to. There's got to be some terrible knife purchases I made early in my career. A SOG Vulcan. I had the SOG Mini Vulcan Tanto with the VG10 laminate. Thought it was the baddest shit the world's ever seen. That was not a very good knife. I don't know how else to put that. Yeah, 2011 me was real convinced that was like the pinnacle of knife making.
So the Silent Soldier that I got was a special edition with no hole in the blade and titanium handles.
Oh, was it the frame lock one?
The frame line.
Oh, with the
And the wiggle blade.
The most prominent detent rock of all time, and as bad as a grind as that steel will that the guy just sent us to our Facebook page.
Yeah. I would also say, in retrospect, biggest regret was buying so many Striders and Emersons at varying points in my naive years of collecting. Both of those were just like not worth the amount of money I spent. At least with the Striders, I got most of the money back, but
yeah,
those were big regrets.
I mean, I really didn't like a lot. I mean, it went downhill for the Performance Series Striders for me. That was like the beginning of the end for my Strider collecting. But I don't really regret buying them. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it was certainly a learning experience. Jake, you got any particularly terrible things?
I'm gonna step out of character, and I mean, one of the worst things that I saw was, as far as a production oversight, was on a Spyderco.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I think there were 2, maybe 3. It could be more models that used ball bearings and the the hardened steel washers that they set in behind the bearings were. I think we talked about this not long ago, like 5 thousandths thick, or they were thinner than a piece of paper. Yeah, like thinner than tinfoil, and any amount of pressure from the bearings caused them to just buckle and cup, and then you had like that material scraping against the blade, and the balls were just sitting in these rocky mountainous structures on the race, and it was just a nightmare. And that as far as production oversights, for me, that was like one of the worst ones I've seen in a long time. Yeah. And from a company you would expect to, wait until something is right.
Coincidentally, the Spyderco newsletter came out today about the improvements to the bearing system for the Advocate and all their other knives, and the Advocate's going back on sale to fix that.
Yeah, Eric mentioned that at SHOT Show as well. So, which is probably why I'm thinking of it right now. Actually,
yeah, that wasn't good. Does anyone remember did the Southern have this problem, or just did it not flip well in general?
I don't think anyone knew what a good flipper was supposed to be.
Yeah, because when did the Southern come out? Like 2014, 2013?
I think it was even earlier.
Oh yeah. I feel like
it was 2012.
I was still in college. It was 2012. Yep, that was not that good in retrospect.
Certainly not compared to the demand.
Yeah, when I got my Riot Horizon A, in comparison to it, I was like, "What the hell?" The Southern was a missed opportunity.
At that time, I had a whole bunch of ZTs. So
yeah, I guess there weren't that many good flippers on the market. That's back when like bearings was a real revelation. So
I remember the first knife I got with bearings, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. It was what? Yeah. What was it? Zero Tolerance 560, I'm guessing.
Nope. ZT 801.
801? Were you late to the bearing game?
I was late to the bearing game.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think of what mine was, but
that was the second knife they released with bearings.
Here we go. First one was a Microtech Whale Shark. That was my first knife with bearings. That was a weird-ass knife. I like that knife. My favorite part is I was getting off of my girlfriend at the time's bed. The pocket clip got caught on like a thread on her comforter. The shit bent, and I had to set it in for 2 months because I couldn't take the pocket clip off because of the fucking Microtech screws. So
I thought you were going to say she had like a water bed or some shit.
That would have been great.
In your pocket. Punctured it, flooded her house, killed her cat.
I don't think her parents would have disliked me anymore if I had done that, so I may as well have.
That's why the DOC clip became known as the "fuck you" clip.
It just punctures waterbeds as you're.
It just ruins your life. Yes. I had a DOC.
Yeah, that was I don't know. I never handled the DOC. It just looked comical.
I lusted for that knife.
Yeah, I mean we all did. I wanted that whale shark so badly. I was obsessed with the whale shark for the longest time. I think that in the SOCOM Delta were my first knives with bearings.
I still have a SOCOM Delta.
Somebody asked us, we're going on a turn here, but someone asked us about Microtech. I also am curious about when the new version of the Elite is coming out because it looks awesome.
It does look good. It looks like a good business model for them too. It's like they're marketing it properly.
Yeah, I mean it's Torx screws, like very nice Torx screws. I think they make them in-house. And I don't know, SOCOM Elite's always been a very good design, so
Yeah, I
it
like
has
that.
potential, if it ever comes out and it's not vaporware.
That'll probably come out.
Well, I mean, they do well enough with the Ultratechs and whatnot, but those just went up in $30 in price or something for 2018.
Holy shit, really? Wow.
Yeah, price hikes are real. Everybody's getting them.
That's a shame.
I mean, that's life, right? At least it's not like the Poltergeist Works like $300 price hike from the last time he accepted orders.
You're just worried about that one for personal
Oh yeah, this
reasons.
is very much a me problem and not as much a you problem for our listeners, unless they all just got on Jacob's books that just opened up.
Not like
Yeah, they're like. Also, he went from USD to Euro, so fun. But yeah, that's very much a you problem. All right, who's up next?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
If I've lost track, it's probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, Jake. That recording is in response to Epic Snuggle Buddy saying, among the hosts, who is the most metal?
Yes.
We can have that debate at the end.
I don't think it's a question. It was in my name for the longest time.
I thought your name was Meta Levon, not Metal Evan.
Metal Evan.
Yeah, are you Metal Evan?
It's me, Metal Evan.
I mean, that could be your metal alias. It's not that cool, though. No, we'll just have a contest at the end. Name the most, because everyone knows when it comes to metal, the way the dick measuring contest is who likes the most obscure band and pretentious band, and we'll just name the most obscure, pretentious act that we like, and then that's how you guys can judge.
Okay.
All right, question.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything.
You have no other questions? We literally only did 2.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. Someone asked.
Biggest knife guilty pleasure.
Oh, that's Epic Snuggle.
No, it is not. It is NFresh6.
Oh, okay.
He gets like a little shout out somehow in like every episode.
I didn't catch the one last episode when he said I caught that shout out. I was gonna be like, who? What? What
he
shout
bought
out?
he bought the 777 from me
Oh, okay.
for a ridiculous amount of money. There's no other way to put it.
All right.
AKA market value on a herringbone.
Yeah, it was market value.
7.
Knife guilty pleasure. I'm gonna go with Halloween themed knives. They're super corny, but for some reason I like it. And then I'm also gonna go with Italian stilettos, like AGA Campolin, like lever lock stilettos, as my other like super guilty pleasure.
I thought that's just the kind of shoes you like to wear.
What?
That was
got it.
stilettos are freaking high heels, you dingus.
Oh God, I was trying to think of what a lever lock shoe was.
Oh
I
my
thought-
fucking God.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a lever lock shoe, and I was like, how is this gonna work? I was like, is AGA Campolin a
Oh
shoe
my
company?
God. Someone on listening to this laughed. I know it. It was a funny joke. Brian was probably on mute.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
not. Sadly.
Let us know if you laughed. We'll send you a
Stop it.
brand
No
new knife,
more. No more free
t-shirt.
shit.
Speaking of free shit, we finally sent something to the winner of our Throw Your Shit in the Creek challenge, aka the only person who entered. So look out for that, Graham.
I also
No one was beating that anyway.
No, they weren't.
I also neglected to mention Tackle Outdoors in the beginning of this podcast.
I did while you were, I don't know, getting murdered or whatever
that
was
makes
happening when you opened the door for
Maybe
a
I
stranger.
should pre-record something and we could put it in the middle of the podcast.
You should, because we really need something to break up the terrible parts of the podcast.
Yeah, we'll do
Like the dog, like when every now and then you gotta just dog train during a podcast.
Yeah, when out of nowhere someone shows up at your house and talks to you about their dog.
Sit. Oh, he's doing it. Look.
That did happen.
What's your knife? What's your knife?
My
guilty pleasure?
knife guilty pleasure. I like high quality knives with like trite imagery on them.
Oh, like Brian's flame.
Like Brian's flame stuff. I have like a zombie SOCOM. My SOCOM Delta is a zombie one.
You still have the zombie
I
one?
still have a zombie one.
No way.
I basically use it as a throwing knife.
Can we just get a picture of of the Levon knife vault? Because I have no idea what you still have.
I've got a
and
lot of
don't have.
stuff.
He's not even certain what he has and doesn't have.
No, it's true. Jake still thinks there's like an entire roll up of knives somewhere in my parents' house.
There it
he's still
Just lost to the sands of time.
but I'm really into that. Like, I have that cyclone with the Japanese maple leaves on it. I treasure that knife.
Yeah.
I treasure it. I don't know. I think that's like really my own guilty pleasure. Like if somebody made me something with a bunch of skulls on it, not Punisher ones, like regular anatomically correct skulls, I'd totally be into that.
Why aren't you out here spending your entire life savings on steel flame jewelry like these other fucking
Because
idiots?
of the Jesus.
Wait, is steel flame
Oh
also
yeah,
Jesus?
dude. That's all those shields, the Crusader shields and shit like that.
Oh yeah, the Crusader shit. Well,
just like it's smart to stay politically neutral, we also stay religiously neutral.
Yeah, I'm just not for me. It's all great if you like to put crosses and lion heads and shit like that on your thing. I'll be here with my pentagrams and Satan.
well, that's why we need to make a Knife Nuts podcast logo that is the daggers formed into a pentagram. Like this is so
oh my
obvious.
God, you're right.
Yeah, how have we not done this? The limited edition patch.
And if you
Consider
call
it
now,
done.
you'll get a
We'll
free
double.
t-shirt.
We'll double your order with a free pair.
Free t-shirt with the daggers made into pentagrams.
We need to limit the amount of patches we release so that people can sell these on eBay like super hypey style with slight color changes on each one. Like a lot of Horton patches I just saw.
We need to have a serious talk about merch soon because there's a rumor that we're going to have like a booth or a table at Blade or something like that, and we got to get on that.
Yeah, everyone but us knows about what's apparently going to happen at Blade since we have nothing nailed down.
You're definitely not going to have a table because they're, I think, booked out. Or a booth.
Okay, so we're not going to have one of those.
None of this
That has to be done in like August.
Yes, none of
Can we get press passes?
none of that is going to happen.
I can get you guys in there. That's not a problem.
Yeah, we'll be,
Are we journalists?
we're VIPs.
I want the press pass.
What? Yeah, we'll get that. That's fine.
You guys want to be in there Thursday, like everybody else buying shit
At like the
before it
ass
opens.
crack of dawn. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we'll go to Blade Show this year. We'll do that. I have never been as a spectator, so before I end up sitting in a booth for the entire time, I'd like to go see the show. So maybe it's best that we do that this year, and then next year we pull out all the stops and have like a circus with us or something.
Like the bussy booth or monstrosity. Jake, what's your knife guilty pleasures? It's going to be something super nerdy, isn't it?
It's try.
I have so little for this. I'm gonna have to. I think Levon's gonna have to answer this for me. I don't know what's a guilty pleasure.
It's Strider.
Like that, I was gonna say the fact that I don't actually collect knives. Like I have this obsession with like getting rid of whatever it wasn't the best for this category when I find the new best for that category, and I'm chasing this like only having 10 knives but having the 10 best knives for each possible purpose.
I don't fully believe that. I mean, yeah, Jake, I understand that that's what you think. But I think you like to latch onto a specific knife and or product and then find a way to justify its purchase.
So, like all of us.
And then justify selling it for the flavor of
For the next thing.
Exactly.
Season.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I do go seasonally, not monthly, but that is still a bit of a guilty pleasure. Yeah.
He's like, this week it might be the perfect pond knife. That's when it's always good. For like the four to
first
five
day of
times.
spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. First day of
Oh
spring,
yeah, this totally
I'm gonna
happens to me
freak
too.
out. I need a better fixed blade. I'm going to be down at the pond all summer, and then it starts getting cold, and
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to hermit indoors now, and I need a tiny little awesome titanium something or other knife, and yeah, I'll give you that. But you didn't mention copper under your guilty pleasures, so I'm going to call you out for buying anything copper just because it's copper for a little while. And maybe
I don't-
maybe
I don't
you'll do that.
I think I buy way too much to
You
consider
bought
copper
10
shit.
copper. You bought 10 copper flashlights in 2 months just because they were copper.
Oh, that did happen.
Admit it.
That happened.
Yeah,
But
but it's gonna patina.
no, listen. That was on like one of those Banggood sites where like everything was like $20.
Don't say one of those Banggood sites.
It's just
it sounds
Monopoly
it's
money.
Definitely a porn site.
Yeah, Good Bang.
Yes.
Pornhub.
Pornhub. No, but they were
Ear
like
hug.
$20. I was like, I gotta have these, and I wanted the flashlights. They just only came in copper.
I
Okay,
think subconsciously
likely story.
that's what made you want that flashlight. Anyway, move.
No, I agree with you, Jake. It is incredibly difficult to get past that mindset of needing a knife for each specific purpose, even when you don't do anything. So, if any of you guys have listened to the podcast before, I think I've made it 100% clear that I don't do a lot of outdoorsy things, yet I constantly feel the need to get a fixed blade that I would somehow use in some fictional outdoors situation that I'll never
In
be
the trees.
In the tree.
Yeah, doing tree shit. Yeah, like what am I gonna do with this? And I can't stop myself, and I always buy them, and then I sell them, and then I feel like I need
Maybe
another
you can
one.
spend some time with your grandparents. They're outdoor people.
Yeah, you know what? Just put me in the fucking ground now.
Oh God.
Soon enough.
Yeah.
Episode 30.
Jake,
Hari.
Yes.
I was looking at your questions. You have none really left.
Yeah, no. There's more on Levon's feed that might pertain to me than
Yeah.
what I have in my.
Just go on my feed and take a look. You can have some of mine.
Yeah, I'm
Why don't you just go through them?
okay. Because Jake's doesn't really have questions. They're more like statements, which are I don't know. Were we supposed to react to statements?
Yo, that burger went right through me.
Oh dear God. No, hold it in. Hold it in. This is almost done.
I have an empanada that's stewing in me.
Jesus Christ. Yes, as we've said before, I'm not sure if we have said it on the podcast. The glue that holds this podcast together is gastrointestinal issues.
I'm hoping I don't sneeze because it's just going to come out.
Jesus Christ. What did I say about poop jokes last episode?
Why are poop jokes red flagged and everything else is fair game?
Because we're above that. This is sophisticated
We are
humor.
in the muck and the mire. There is no rising out of shit.
Don't
jokes.
drag us down to that level. This is sophisticated humor. We make
You guys-
sophisticated references to animals and
Yeah. You almost made me forget my best comment from today was, quote, get disgustingly, scarily deep into the minutia of sharpening.
which is like, first off, that person was just trying to bait you because we know you would do that. And that's also hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Jake, when you do that, you're just going to be on the podcast by yourself.
It's going to be a one-man podcast.
I said I'm good for 5 or 6 hours and a 50-slide PowerPoint presentation, and he said something like, "I would be sad there wasn't a 7th hour" or something like that.
Oh my
So
God.
we've got at least one listener who wants to hear me talk about, examining edges under microscopes to learn what's really going on.
Maybe it's one of our 6 Australian listeners, as
I saw
Apple's metrics
I saw
now
that.
tell us. We really don't have a great representation. We have 3 countries. Yeah. Welcome to the Jake Nuts podcast.
They're all they're English-speaking countries.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, wait, so our art hasn't transcended the boundaries of language?
We need some like real-time translator putting us all in Russian.
I mean, that would be the next logical market.
We'd be so rich.
I don't think our jokes
Nice.
translate into Russian.
Knife Nuts take Moscow. They're just gonna substitute all of our jokes with like, haha, capitalist imperial scum.
All right, so maybe for our next guest will be a Russian-speaking individual who answers every question in Russian.
Da.
No. Yes.
That's what I said.
I mean, we can say goodbye to him. I know Das Vidanya. That's you're losing.
I only
after
know how
that.
to say curse words in Russian.
All right, that's good enough. We can muddle through. We'll get Sergei Shirogorov. Or did I pick the wrong one?
Pizda.
Tell me I didn't pick the wrong Shirogorov.
I don't know what you said.
I don't know. I don't. This is like when you didn't know which hawk was the young hawk. I don't know which Shirogorov is the good Shirogorov.
A live one?
Yeah, the one. This was
The good
That's
one.
good too. Then they get to spend their life in the outdoors.
I mean, we treat dead people pretty much like they're alive, and people that are alive pretty much like they're dead. So,
All right, I've got a question.
Go. Shoot.
This is actually a good one. So, Tactical Center Elite, is everyone bored of S30V? I'm going to say yes, they are bored of it, and should they be? Probably not, because when people take like an actual reasonable like step back, and I mean, we all as like enthusiasts have our heads so far up our asses about
Yes.
like this hobby that we have no perspective on what we actually do with our knives. So for the vast majority of us, S30V is totally fine, and we shouldn't be bored by it. But it's a hobby, and we're enthusiasts, so anything old is going to be boring.
I know people lose sleep over the lack of niobium.
Yeah, right? Like, it's like, if you really use your knives enough to know, then sure, yes, S30V is not sufficient for you, but how many of those people are there? Like, they're probably the minority of the knife world. I mean, Brian, how many people like really needed the S90V you put on the mini Typhoons? Probably
that's
not
why
many.
he got so much shit for it. And he's gone.
Because if you're not going to use the knife, then it's just harder to sharpen. Is that why they were complaining? I don't know.
Yeah, but people want the S90V anyway.
It's awesome.
Just because it is.
It is.
But and not even, I mean, it is awesome, but they just want it because it is S90V.
Yeah.
Not because they're going to take advantage of any of the things that S90V does.
I would respond, are you tired of M390 yet? Because there was like an instantaneous grab where anyone who was just getting into the industry and wanted to like, hedge their bets, they didn't have any choice but M390. It was like a requirement to sell knives in 2017. I thought that was annoying.
What are you talking about? I missed that. So you're saying that
every new
wanted
knife
to
maker
have
that's
an
popped up in the
M390?
last like 18 months is using M390.
Well,
yeah.
we know that basically we all know the order of operations here. It's like if you don't have S30V, it's like it's not even a knife anymore. And then if you have S35VN, you're just on the playing field. You can like, oh, okay, it's a passable knife. If you got M390, you are God's gift to knives. M390 is like, oh my God, I can't believe this has M390.
Which is not like necessarily a problem because M390 is really good, but somehow its like ubiquitousness is making people less interested in it. So so basically what we're saying is that knife collectors are stupid. We're all dumb.
We're idiots.
And we have completely irrational reasons for wanting different steels.
That is the truest statement ever.
Except
like did you see the CPM Rex 121 Kickstarter? It's gonna be like a small fixed blade in Rex 121. Like this is the peak of us going too far.
Did I just hear
Except
you swallow?
Levon and I. Oh, maybe I don't know. Levon and I have a very legitimate complaint involving blade steels and Maximate.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Every fucking episode.
Still waiting for my goddamn 888 and Maximate.
All right, you're not getting it.
Paid for it.
It's not happening.
No, I'm gonna get a Spyderco and Maximate.
We know.
I need to buy you that fucking thing so that we can stop talking about that.
And then I'm gonna shoot it, just cause.
Don't do that. Your life might fall apart if you do that.
And don't reveal too much too soon.
I'm gonna record it.
Yeah, I think just the whole steel thing has gotten out of hand. I mean,
I'm guilty of it, and I still enjoy it.
Oh,
I
sure.
still enjoy it, but yeah, we're dumb.
Yeah. Let's accept it. We're all idiots.
I'll be the voice of reason. The other thing here is that the cost difference when it comes to like a mediocre steel compared to a high-end steel is on that small of a piece of steel is
it's minimum.
So it's okay. It's okay to expect something a little bit more high-end maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like if they're putting S35 in, they could put M390 and make the.
I'm on Alpha Knife Supply. I know how much that stuff costs.
True, but they're probably buying in, larger amounts. So I imagine the bulk costs
I think it has to do more with availability than anything else, and how much they can get of a certain steel more than the cost.
As far when they go to do a big production run, absolutely, absolutely. But for small runs and for
CRKT would make us believe that all they can get is HCR 13 MOV.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. The kings of whinging about things is definitely Spyderco, in terms of complaining about all the costs of anything involving making knives. So, but yeah, I agree. CRKT does not seem to be aware of the existence of other steels.
The cost of putting carbon fiber laminate over your G10.
Yes, tooling costs.
Oh my God.
It's the classic Spyderco buzzword. Tooling costs
and ergonomics.
Tooling changes. In order to get the ergonomics, we need to make tooling changes, which incurred tooling costs. So now your knife is $100 more than you thought it was going to be. Congratulations.
Buy more Delicas.
Seriously, they raise the prices every year. It's always fucking tooling costs.
I love Spyderco though.
I like them. It's just you can't deny that that they always are raising their prices, and that some of it is not in keeping with the rest of the market. But there's also a very related question. I think this is the last question from me, from Jonathan, Mr. Scurvy. Does the knife buying public expect too much from production companies, and have we all been completely spoiled by how good they've gotten? For example, like is my $120 USA made knife? Is it a problem that it's not custom levels of perfect, doesn't have the latest steel du jour, and is already overpriced type people? I will agree that there is. I was thinking about this while I was driving, so that means I should at least be able to enunciate this better than Jake earlier with whatever that idea was about M390. So we talk about filthy casuals a lot, and I think filthy casuals are actually harmless. But there's this like new level of toxic casuals, and if you want to meet one of these toxic casuals, go to Massdrop and look at the comments on any knife over $100. It's these people who are new and don't understand the knife industry at
they just
large,
checked off
and expect everything. Yeah, and they expect everything to be cheap and perfect and have like the most incredible things, and like they're spreading this and it's always super negative. Like they're just spewing negativity about this stuff when they clearly are lacking perspective on the industry as a whole. So yeah, I think people I think the perspective's completely out of whack on how good things. I think
gotten. we can coin a phrase like super casual to them or something like that.
Toxic
casual. I like it. It. It's good.
I'm putting that in the book right now. I've started keeping a list of our lingo in case people need to translate.
Yeah, God, fucking Rain Man over here.
Yeah.
That definitely going into the book. Definitely
he's writing with a quill.
Hang on, I got a dip. Ow. Okay, good.
Toxic. Yeah, so like if a filthy casual is like a little kid who doesn't know better, a toxic casual is an asshole teenager who should know better but chooses not to.
And by teenager, you mean 24-year-old, right? Silicon Valley, first good job, spending all his money on lockpick sets. On Massdrop.
Yeah, why does Massdrop always have those fucking lockpick sets? What is this, fucking Skyrim? Do I need to get my lockpicking skills to 100 so I can break into the fucking Imperial Keep?
You can't even talk about Massdrop if you're not going to talk about lockpick sets, man. What is the?
Yo, they're obsessed with it.
What is it?
Okay, just become the leader of the Thieves Guild. Get the skeleton key and the gray fox mask, and then you don't even need to practice. Yo, shout out to anyone that got that Oblivion reference.
I got it. But
good.
They also sell these tiny little crossbows that shoot toothpicks.
Which also is their target demographic?
I don't know,
because that's that shit's hot.
You take that shit to middle school, you're getting fucking expelled.
Yeah, true, probably.
And someone's ending up with a toothpick in their neck.
Hopefully, it's not a titanium toothpick.
Yeah. Oh my god, so that's what I'm gonna do is buy one of those and load them up with Kaiser titanium.
Yeah, when your ammo is $13 per toothpick, things like shooting fucking Barrett 50 cals.
Well, I have a little gift for all of us from from Instagram. Trav EDC mentioned me in not in one of our posts, but let's see here. Lionworks posted a knife that I guess is for sale in CPM D2, and Trav EDC says those 3 letters, not China D2. So someone used CPM D2. Someone was specific.
It's out there. The truth is out there, Jake. You just have to get deeper into the 7th layer of woke to find out the conspiracy about D2.
In China with some sort of sci-fi background music. I'm going to have to go to China and find the splendid source of D2.
When you're the main character of the next fucking Dan Brown novel and it's about finding the source of the China D2.
Yeah, like that.
We're going to be millionaires.
Agreed.
Where did this fucking podcast go?
I don't know. This is disaster. I'm so sorry, everybody.
It's a bonus episode.
That's why this is. That's right, bonus episode. You can't be mad.
Yeah, it's a bonus episode.
All right, I gotta focus over here.
Yeah, better start pacing, sidestepping.
China D2.
What the fuck was that?
One more time.
China D2.
That's still saying China D2.
Oh.
you raised them right on a steady diet of China.
Oh
D2.
my god! Please get that as an audio clip.
Which is why that was really
Sorry.
impressive that she actually said China D2. She's listening.
Yes, that was good. Yeah. Where do we go from there?
Here's. I love Luke's death match. Lock both Balzano and Smock in a shop. First one to build a complete folding knife.
Gets to live. Yes.
Who will make it out alive? Yeah, I really didn't know this Smock hate was like we could do this publicly.
I don't think it's as bad as Balzano, but just being uttered in the same sentence.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be.
It's not good. You know, and I try to stay neutral. I've never had like a really big problem with any of them, and Smock especially. Like he's always been cool. And Balzano, you know, he's reached out to us. You know.
Yes, he's reached out to us. He wants to be a guest.
He
on
does,
the podcast.
and you know, maybe we'll let that happen at some point. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, so we can enable.
Listen,
more bad behavior.
you don't know. You don't know.
Oh yeah, he turned it around. Just like he delivered those Mars Kickstarter folders. Oh wait. Womp womp womp.
Anyway, should I go live?
No. I don't think we have the content right now to do that.
Nor the band.
I don't have the ability to hold my bowels to do that.
All right. Well, I guess that we should wrap the podcast up then.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Well, that's what you get for a bonus episode. Sorry, it sucked.
Yeah. It did.
But definitely go visit Tackle Outdoors for your 10% off. Put in Knife Nuts.
Can I say something?
Yes, you may, Stella.
Can I say something, Daddy? Try to D2.